another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Coaches like to say no game is more important than any other. But when you have a couple of top 10 teams ready to square off, yeah, that one carries a little more weight. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the 4th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Georgia likely to kick it deep to get things started. And they thought about a return, then... They'll bring it out to the 25. And I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. The offense lining up for a first down play. They'll go to the ground. Gets away from one. He's got space. That is exactly what you're looking for when you talk explosive plays. The defense finally able to make the stop.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Dropping back, it's Howard. And that pressure just engulfed him. A sack for this defense. The Buckeyes are in the hurry-up. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And he's not going to make it. The defense denying him the first down.
Well, this offense is given a lesson right now on how to fight through adversity because 1st and 2nd down was ugly. But they come up with that huge completion to now set up a manageable 4th down opportunity to keep this drive alive.
This offense has moved into plus territory, and they want to keep the heat on. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Quickly out to the tight end.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had it. Now, a fresh set of downs.
Gets it out fast. Open space at the 25. Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. This guy makes it look easy, just like a lot recent Ohio State quarterbacks have.
Man, you can set your watch by these guys. I mean, whether it's C.J. Stroud, Justin Fields, I mean, we can keep going back year after year. They always got a really good signal caller that you can really depend on to make big plays.
On second down, looking to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete. This drive was clicking along, but after a couple of misfires, threatening to stall out on 3rd and 10. That's reeled in. It's Judkins. And Shore tackling there to keep him from getting to the first down marker. It's 4th down and 6, and they'll try to convert. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete, a missed opportunity for the offense.
Hey, you come out early in the game, you're trying to send a message to your team that you're confident, you believe in them to convert these 4th downs. You didn't get that one, but don't let it be a detriment moving forward. You want to stay aggressive, be that way throughout the course of the game.
They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. First down here for the offense. Gonna run it. It's Etienne. He'll be stopped just short of the 20 at the 19. Give him 1.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Pulls and fires complete. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37. So it's not just a strong running game. The Dogs can be dangerous with those weapons up top.
And I think when you've seen Georgia really dominate in college football over the last several years, it's because they've been more aggressive, more willing to throw the football early downs, trust their quarterback, not just the ground game.
Georgia going up tempo.
You know, sometimes when you're throwing against zone coverage, you need time for the routes to develop. So nice job by the quarterback there, being patient, allowing his receivers to work themselves open.
Trying to get behind the defense. And a big play on the outside. What a job to keep those feet in bounds and get the completion.
Yeah, and the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating the explosive play.
Turning to the running game on 1st and goal. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels. Now on 2nd and goal. He's got it. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the 2nd. They'll try to open this quarter by sticking it in the end zone here. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Looking for the touchdown on 3rd and goal. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6.
3rd and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
that they'll send out the field goal unit. He'll boot one from the right hash. He ought to be able to navigate that angle from this distance. Smashes it between the uprights. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0.
I'll tell you, this is not an easy place to play on the road, especially at nighttime. This crowd, they get loud. That's the way it's been so far, but they have a nice drive to open it up. They're able to execute, to put themselves in field goal range, knock it through the uprights. They did exactly what they needed to do, taking a 3-0 lead here early on the road. That's impressive.
Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, that last drive, they had a chance to put 3 on the board and passed. This one needs to be productive, David.
Yeah, I got no problem with aggressiveness. It was a pretty decent drive. This offense isn't fully clicking yet. They need to get in a little better rhythm, and they need to capitalize on their scoring opportunities.
And they've got the weapons to do that too, David. They've got guys that can make plays in space. They need to focus on them and get them the ball this drive.
To the air, it's Howard. Pocket starts to collapse. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. And the Buckeyes want to crank the tempo. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. A beautifully placed ball to the outside and the toe drag for the big pickup.
You got to love that. On defense, one of the most critical statistics out there is how do you play on 3rd down? How do you prevent the opponent from keeping drives alive? Right there, tackling the catch. You gave up the completion. What do? You set up 4th and long. You're going to get the ball back. Go get some water and celebrate.
They're throwing for it on 4th down. Complete out of the backfield. He's not going to get there. Stop short on 4th down.
Hey, at this point of the game, 4th and short, no problem going for it. 4th and medium, I think it's too early to start taking some of these chances. I think you need to just let the game play out a little bit and trust your defense.
And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
From the shotgun, they'll run it. They'll give him 1 to the 28-yard line.
You know, runs like this oftentimes are like a boxer in a boxing match. Obviously, it's not a knockout punch, but these are body blows. And as the game goes on, these small gains are going to turn into longer runs.
They'll snap it from the 28 in field goal range, but it's 3rd and short. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. It'll be a run on 3rd and short. Tough, hard-nosed run. He picks up 3, but stopped just short. It'll be 4th and 1. No hesitation at all. The offense stays on the field. They'll go for it. Try to get it on the ground. Tackled, but he has a 1st down.
4th and 1, I got to know my situation. I got to know I can't mess around as a running back. I got to get through the hole, make the 1st down. No matter what, if I got to run somebody over, I'm running straight downhill, straight for those sticks, making sure I get that 1st down.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. To the air, it's back. Reacted well to the tip, but just couldn't squeeze the football. Instead of the turnover, it'll be 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. he'll try to throw for it. And it's incomplete despite some serious arm strength shown there.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. So they get the field goal, now about to kick it away, and you get a stop here, and you go to halftime feeling really good about things. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. So late in the half, this is really an opportunity, David, maybe to swing the momentum in their favor.
Dang right. There's no time to be conservative. We're a little bit down. Listen, I just think this is a point with the offense that they can prove. Like, we're here, we're going to create something now that we can build on in the second half.
Coach said all week he wanted to be aggressive. This is a great opportunity to show that right now. At the end of the first half, try and generate some momentum, score some points before going into halftime.
To the air, it's Howard. Looking for a deep man. And they almost had a connection on the long pass, but the receiver couldn't make the grab in bounds. You always want to give your big-time players a chance. That might have been too much of a chance to give right there.
And I know I'll give you a chance when it's one-on-one, but not two-on-one.
Fires into traffic. It's picked off. Looking for more room.
As a quarterback, you've got to give your receiver an opportunity to make a play. You've got to put the ball on his body. That throw gets away a little bit from the QB, and that leads to the tip and the interception.
So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Here's the give off the left side. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. The offense will have to use its first time out of the half.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Quarterback will audible. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. Coming after it. Nice job of avoiding the sack and picking up a few on the run. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll try to get the first through the air. Grabbed in the middle. It's dealt. And he couldn't quite get to the marker, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The offense uses the timeout to stop the clock, and they'll get a quick breather. It is perfect. They'll trot off to the locker room after the field goal to close the half. They want to get the ball back right now, lining up for an onside kick to start the second half. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10. Back to throw, it's Beck. Quarterback on the move, still looking. He'll let one go down the right side. And they weren't able to make the connection. They were looking for an explosive play. Georgia comes quickly to the line.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Throwing right. Another incompletion on third down.
And the offense got themselves in a tough situation. Third and long, so hard to execute, especially when the field starts to shrink. But the good news is they got a field goal in their back pocket.
3 straight incompletions, and undaunted, they'll go for it on 4th and 10. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. On 4th down, they're taking to the air. He's got it, they convert. And that's where they'll mark him, but a chunk play and they pick up a first down. Sometimes we don't give enough credit to a receiver knowing exactly where he needs to be on the field, and they pick up the first down there.
Yeah, and you've got to give the receiver credit, obviously knowing where that is, but the defender needs to know where it is too. Where is he trying to get? That ball's going to come out quick. He didn't really understand where the sticks were. Because of that, he gives up the first down. Need to just be a little bit more aware as a defensive guy.
Now on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Finds a tight end. How about this backer in pass coverage and bringing the big hit stick with him too? The modest gain on the completion really shows why you want to run the zone, make them execute, and rally to the ball.
100%. Zone eyes on the quarterback. I see him throw the football, break on it, go make tackles, live to fight another down.
Looking for a man. It's back. Throws toward the end zone. He caught it. Can't quite cross the plane to get the 6, but they'll have the first down.
And that's a really good example of a quarterback and his intended target both being on the same page. The timing was almost perfect on that play. That's why they were able to convert the 3rd down, now setting up 1st and goal.
They're going to run it. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. A pretty short drive there, covering 38 yards. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays, and I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw at this drive.
On 2nd down, he'll let it fly. Got it in the middle, it's Tate. One of the great programs in the history of the sport, sort of built on the running game, but these days, Ohio State defined by explosive pass plays.
Yeah, and you can call yourself whatever you want. A lot of people claim different things like wide receiver U, but when you look at Ohio State the past several years, going back 10 years probably, you can pick so many big names of guys who have been superstars, not only at the college level, but also at the NFL level.
And chunk plays are the name of the game, and they get one here before the defense finally makes the stop. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the hit. A nifty pickup there. 2nd down coming up on this red zone opportunity. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down. The Buckeyes want to pick up the tempo. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Buckeyes! Great example of how a second half can really change everything for a team.
No doubt. First half looked bad. It looked like it was bleak. It looked like it was ugly. But now you're starting to get it turned around. More drives like this is what's needed.
My philosophy on going for 2 is only when you have to. Dropping back, it's Howard. He's got it in the end zone for the 2 as they trim more off of that lead. That is an efficient drive. 7 plays, 75 yards. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. He'll bring it out. It's Smith. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. And David, how they would love to stick it in the end zone one more time after that last drive.
And once you get the defense...
He wants to take the top off. And that'll be incomplete. They tried to hit him with a big one on first down.
Yeah, you can tell the timing wasn't great, and quarterback and receiver not on the same page, but when you're going to miss, don't miss towards the DB. You definitely want to miss out towards the sideline so you don't get yourself in trouble.
And here comes the offense on second down. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. That's caught. It's Evans.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football.
He lobs one high down the left side. A full dive to haul that one in. And that one is why offenses are hungry for big, big plays. They've got it 1st and 10, threatening inside the 30. He wants to throw. Oh, he loves to fire downfield. Touchdown, Dogs! And they take it in for 6 more points. And with the extra point, they move on top by 15. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish the deal with a 26-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team out there and ready to go. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. First down here for the offense. He's looking to throw it. Grabbed over the middle. It's Tate. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the first down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. He'll come out throwing on first down. Working that left side now. And he's got enough for a first down. Now to see if they have enough time to snap it again here in the 3rd. New set of downs after that completion. Looking to move it through the air. Quick completion on the out route. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The Buckeyes racing to the line in the hurry up. Going up top on first down. Looking for the score. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State.
And it's so underrated. The relationship between a QB and a wide receiver, the timing, the ability to know where he's going to be and be accurate with the football, that's what leads to nice touchdowns, Jesse.
Well, and the chemistry between these two guys has to be great when you're throwing in the end zone because coverage is going to be tight. The throw might not be perfect, but this is something these two guys have been repping in practice over and over and over, and it's paying dividends now on game day.
Fair catch called for and made. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
And it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
After a good pickup on the run, it's 2nd down. wants to throw. It's Beck. Looking to the big tight end. Got his man. They'll have it at the 49, just across midfield, 1st and 10. Smart move to keep it on the ground.
Well, this offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Moving out of the pocket. He'll try to do it himself. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain. We've reached a 2-minute warning in this offense, trying to milk this clock and keep time on their side. Big 3rd down play here. If they get a stop, you'll see an immediate timeout. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. And the missed connection on 3rd down. They have the lead in a 1-possession game, but they're thinking deliver the knockout blow, but this carries big-time risk on 4th down. He'll go up top, maybe a deciding play here. Fires to the wideout. Tremendous awareness along the sideline and the ability to get the foot down for the big pickup. And the Dogs come to the line with a fresh set of downs. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Quick timeout call by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense.
I never know if it's grammatically correct to say a team is being out-physical. You hear it a lot in football, though. That's happening in this game. They are just not getting the push they need all game long up front to have any success when they decide to run.
And the defense finally... Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Today, we have two of college football's elite meeting force with force in a battle of top 5 teams as two squads square off looking to hit their stride. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the 4th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touch. error there. They don't get the snap off in time. They'll decline that penalty, obviously very happy with the results of the play. On first down, here comes this offense. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Crosses the 30 to the 31, a 6-yard gain.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
6-yard pickup on first down, leaves him with 2nd and 4. Finds his tight end. Able to work it to the 39-yard line, and that'll be a first down. No reason to panic when you see those extra bodies coming. Just find the big tight end.
Well, and the great ones do that. The great ones are okay. You want to blitz? I know my answers. I'm all right. I'll stay patient. Find the matchup. This time it was the tight end. Finds the tight end, throws a strike, gets the first down.
Nice job by the defense there, taking all throws away from the quarterback. He had nowhere to put that football in the field to play, so that ball obviously had to go out of bounds.
And after the incompletion on first down, this offense looking at 2nd down. To throw, it's Howard. Fires to the middle. And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit. I know you want to go to this guy because he's made so many plays for you, but when he's doubled, surely somebody else has a much easier play to make.
And it might not be the stud that he is, right? Like, I might not find another guy that's a baller like him, that's a playmaker, but now I got one-on-one matchups elsewhere that I got to go take advantage of. If they're going to double cover him, I'm going to take advantage of this matchup somewhere else.
On 4th down, going to the air. Good timing on the quick out. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. And the Buckeyes come to the line in the hurry-up. They'll throw it on first down. They're bringing heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
Doesn't take this defense a lot of time to get to the quarterback, man. They've got speed all over the place. They hit him so quickly, and because of that, the ball falls incomplete.
Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Pressure coming. At the 35, he's loose. And he scoots his way to the first down and then slides to avoid the hit. The Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to go up top on first down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. A really nice run and gain, and he gets down to avoid taking punishment. Just inside the red zone, 1st and 10 from the 19. Trying to cap this drive with the pass. Dances away to buy time. Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hit. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. They've softened them up with a run. Now to throw it. He gets the job done, picking up the first down, then getting down. So close to cashing it in for this offense. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Buckeyes! You know what? Methuselah lived 969 years. He was born and died in the amount of time it took them to walk it down the field and score that touchdown.
That's just so frustrating. Play after play after play. You line up, you try to do your assignment, and you fail, and they cap it off with a touchdown. Oh, Methuselah.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Defense didn't maintain its discipline there, and they get into the neutral zone. It'll cost them 5 yards. So they'll decline the penalty, pleased with the results of that last play. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. He wants to start this drive with a pass. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. He's got it inside the 30. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds. After a play like that, you have to get it in the end zone on this drive. They're threatening to score, and they'll throw it. He gets rid of it, but I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, here comes the flag. Here comes the offense on second down. Quarterback checking off. Looking downfield, it's back. This time he's got it. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Third play of the drive, and they need to take advantage of this field position by making something happen on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it go to the end zone. And the ball is picked off. Got some room to run. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
This quarterback was having success throwing on the opening drive of the game, in large part because it's a lot harder to throw on 3rd down when the defense is expecting it, like you saw right there. They were ready. Had a really good coverage call to get the INT.
Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. If you like old-fashioned, grind-it-up, run-over-'em football, that last touchdown drive was for you, Jesse.
That was impressive, man. Great.
And the pass is intercepted. Trying to take it back. And he's going to score on the interception. Touchdown, Georgia. This time it's the defense finding ways to put points on the board.
There is nothing better than being a defender, seeing that ball in the end zone. Your eyes get big as saucers. Go, jump on that puppy, secure it, get you a touchdown.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. Smashes it through for the PAT. And we're all square as he's set to kick it away. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six.
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16. If there's ever been a position group that sort of identifies with the team's mascot, it would be the bulldog mentality of this Georgia front.
Those hunkering down dogs up front, they got to hunker down and stop the run and be physical, and then guess what? It gets into passing situations. Now I'm quick. Now I'm on the edge. Now I'm making that quarterback's life a living you-know-what.
They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. Give to the running back. And they'll wrestle him to the ground after a short gain.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job by the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Looking for a man, it's Howard. Unloads to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down. The Buckeyes headed quickly to the line. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Finds his man, it's Judkins. He puts him in business across the 50 into the 46-yard line. It'll be first down.
Nice poise by the quarterback. Here's a big 3rd down throw, and you want to push the ball vertically down the field, but if the defense takes it all away, check the ball down. Get it to your running back and let him go do the work and move the sticks forward.
Throws to the wideout. Intercepted. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision making.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. And boy, they missed an opportunity last time throwing that pick in the red zone, Dave. He'll take a deep shot here. And he'll pull it in inside the 20. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Reeled it in and just made the house call. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. That's the kind of drive everybody loves. They'll see quarterback, one snap, put it in the end zone. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Pushes ahead for a couple. They'll mark it at the 33. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. They'll try to get it through the air. Fires to the middle. Working on the right. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep them from getting the first down. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know it.
And it's picked off again. His night vision hasn't been on par. Bringing it back. Inside the 10. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Dogs! They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. The ball squirts through the end zone. That'll be a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Getting late here in the first half, they'll have a chance to make this a one-possession game.
And the offensive play caller here has to really be dialed in. It's important down 2 possessions, David, that they're able to score some points. So you got to call your best stuff in this 2-minute situation.
And such a good opportunity to cut into a 1-score game, create that momentum, get some good juices going for the second half, because obviously, you built yourself a little bit of a deficit. You need some good things to happen, and it needs to happen on this possession.
Makes the grab, and it's enough for the first down before he's dragged to the ground. Clock stops momentarily for the first down. They'll hurry to the line. Wants to throw on first down. Trying to get to it. And this one's not working. He'll just throw it away.
And that goes down as incompletion, but that's a smart play. And the QB coach and the OC will be very happy with the decision of the quarterback. He got outside the pocket. He obviously was he's outside the tackle boxes. He knew he could throw it away as long as he got it past the line of scrimmage.
He'll off one deep down the left side. And it's incomplete after taking a shot on second down. They're staring at third. And the Buckeyes want to move quickly. Looking downfield, it's Howard. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down. The DBs will back off a bit. On fourth down, trying to find his man. Getting some heat. He uncorks one deep. He was able to come down with the pass, but not in... Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Today, we have 2 of college football's most powerful teams as we are set for a top 5 showdown. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the 4th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Buckeyes will put total weather to crank us up. He'll bring it out. It's Etienne. I know he thinks he can house every return. stopped at the 14. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. They'll decline the penalty here and let the result of that play stand. Looking for a productive play on first down. Motion from the offense. Receiver on the move gets the touch pass. Still on his feet at the 25. And it is a chunk play, a huge gain on that one before the defense brings it to an end.
And I love right out of the gate, this offense is going to be creative, and they're going to try to get their best players the football out in the open field. You saw it right there.
You open a drive like that, and you've got some operating room. It's first down from the 38. From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Creating some space, getting just enough good blocking, and they've got it up to the 47-yard line.
You want to talk about making it easy for an offensive coordinator. You pick up a bunch of yards on first down, make that second down really, really manageable. That's a great job by the offense.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. Dropping back, it's back. Gonna let it fly, and he's got it inside the 30-yard line. Georgia coming out with a fresh set of downs. Wide receiver now comes in motion. With jet sweep pass. And he gets the first down, but man, did he get the hit stick laid on his noggin. Georgia going up tempo. They'll throw it from the red zone. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. Going to work on second down in the red zone. Is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Touch pass on the run. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. And they wrap him up, but not before he's got enough for the first down. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Trying to punch it in. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
And on that situation, the 1-yard line, the defense brings so many guys. Palmer gets in the backfield, creates the negative play.
Yeah, I think we're seeing the overall athleticism of this defense. They've got guys flying to the ball.
And the D deny them on second and goal. Tries again to get it in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Georgia!
Well, you know this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown. Everything working perfectly. They looked like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. That one bounds runs through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Running back goes in motion. To the air on first down. Oh, he's going to go up top. Makes the catch along the left sideline, and that is a big pickup. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Ohio State.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Jesse looking to take it down the field for back-to-back touchdowns.
I think it's really important for them moving forward, too, to have a lot of balance, right? You want to be able to keep this defense guessing, Paul.
Yeah, and you got me searching for answers after that last drive. You stack another drive on top of this, their defense's heads are going to be spinning all over the place.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Back to throw, it's Beck. Downfield. That's where they'll mark him down, but what a play there to pick up a first down. Georgia comes quickly to the line.
That's an absolute strike right there, giving me some Stetson Bennett vibes, some Aaron Murray vibes, even Matthew Stafford with the arm talent on that throw. I'll tell you, they can attack any spot of the field in the passing game because of this guy's technique.
And a really good job by the quarterback being very decisive. He saw his matchup, he went for it, he attacked it, got the positive gain. I would say he's going to find that guy a few more times today.
Trying to find his man on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And the score comes on a touchdown pass covering 28 yards. The kickoff bounces through the end zone. They'll bring it out to the 25. Feeling some heat. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver.
I know it was incomplete, but I'm okay with it. If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm going to keep taking shots down the field. I'm going to make him honor that deep ball. I'll hit some of those before the game's over.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. Moving the running back, forcing the defense to adjust. Snagged in the middle. It's Judkins. And the catch was one thing, and the run even better. A big pickup on that one. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. The passing game continues to be prolific, and as much as Ohio State has been built on toughness, they've been built recently on the efficient passing game.
I mean, so many good quarterbacks, and you know you're going to get great play calling, great offensive design. Ohio State offenses every year, year after year, the names change, but the production continues to be the same.
First down to start the drive after the break. Looking to throw, it's Howard. Unleashes one deep. Falls incomplete, and he did everything perfectly except catch the football. Second down coming.
Man, it's so hard to play defense nowadays. You got a strike zone where you can hit people. You get flagged for targeting. You get flagged for pass interference. That was beautiful.
How about that elusiveness? He's got space. And he'll take it all the way. They couldn't bring him down. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Huge play. It's so nice to have guys that can create these explosive plays like this. You hand it to him, he can do the rest. Look at the speed. Look at the elusiveness. Get to the end zone. Nice run.
And they tacked on the extra point. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And what a way to finish things off with that 51-yard touchdown run. Ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. The way this game started, you feel as if you have to score a touchdown every time you have it, and now we'll see if they can respond.
Yeah, and I wonder how much pressure that puts on the offense. Jesse, like, you know this is back and forth, and I got to score, and every possession matters so much. What does that do to you as a quarterback?
Well, it puts a lot more pressure on you for sure to feel like I got to make every third down throw. If guys are open vertically down the field, I got to hit them too. We can't let our serve get broken.
Quarterback checking the play. To the air, it's Beck. Fires to the wideout. Incomplete. He had to get rid of it before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
There's a lot of QBs that when they get hit and when they get hurried and when they get pressured, they become very average. Really nice job by the defense pressuring the quarterback.
On third down, he drops the throw. He's open on the right. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. He wants to throw it again. They're trying to get to it, and he'll just get rid of that one.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
Makes a connection, and he'll go down, but not before the big pickup and the first down. Great protection there, plenty of time to sit in the pocket and let his receiver work across the formation.
And he did a great job working across the formation, finding a hole, quarterback, good timing, waiting on it. Nice strike.
Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be second down. And here comes play number 6 of the drive. He's going to pass on second down. Moving away from pressure. Fires into traffic, intercepted. Taking it the other way. He's at the 40. He's at the 20. Touchdown, Ohio State. The defense puts 6 on the board with a big-time interception return. Just one moment, and all of a sudden, the fortunes turn.
You're in a position where you're about to give up points, and now you flip that around and you put points on the board. Perfectly executed. What do you do in an interception? First guy blocks the intended receiver. Everybody else starts to form a wall when the ball's going. Nice blocking, nice interception. interception, nice return for the touchdown.
Coming out with it, it's Smith. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This possession will be a test after squandering that long drive throwing a pick six, Jesse.
You're right.
Going for the big play. Snags it down the right side. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Quarterback changing the plays at the line. Comes out throwing on first down. Pulls it in. It's Evans. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. A new set of downs after the completion. They'll throw it on first down. Pocket starts to collapse. Off the deflection, missed a great chance to force the turnover. Instead, it'll be second down.
That is a tremendous job by the defender on that play because when the ball was thrown, his head was turned around. He was watching the receiver, quickly spun the head, turned his shoulder, located the ball, and then knocked it down.
Coming after it. Chunked it away just as he was hit. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. Back to throw, it's Beck. Looking to the big tight end. Another incompletion on third down.
Really nice third down sub-defense there at that time. It's third and long. They're expecting pass. And they're mixing up their looks. They're trying to change the picture pre-snap to post-snap to confuse the quarterback. Now forcing the incompletion, setting up fourth.
On fourth down, looking to pass. And is going to be batted down. They'll turn it over on downs.
Man, that is just a great job on defense there on fourth down, making a play on the ball in the air. Everybody had their eyes on the quarterback, but having great timing, swatting the ball away and doing it cleanly. No PI. And as a result, that defense has earned a rest. They're coming off the field.
On the run, it's Judkins. And they'll stop him after a minimal pickup. The Buckeyes moving quickly to the line. Motion trying to get the defense to show his hand. They're bringing heat. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a third and long. They'll immediately call timeout.
Well, this defense felt coming into the game that if he was going to try to throw from the pocket, they could get to him and affect his accuracy, and they did on that last play.
Third down conversions, always a huge stat. They've got a third and long from the 27. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking deep. Throws into double coverage, and it's picked off. He'll go out of bounds, but just what they needed to get the ball back.
What a nice catch by the defensive back. Listen, a lot of times you see DBs get in position to make plays, but there's a reason they play DB and not wide receiver. Great job finishing the interception, catching the ball, and making a big...
Fires and picked off. Going the other way, and he's got room. He's at the 30. After making the pick, he took it the other way, and he's dragged down at the 19.
And that's why as quarterbacks, you cannot telegraph the pass. You cannot stare down your receivers because these defenders, they're watching it. And that defender knew exactly where the QB was going with that football, and that's why he picked it off.
The give to the back. And he finds some solid space, makes a nice game before the defense is able to stop him.
Keep pounding away at this defense and make them play the run. If you can get this many a chunk, they're going to have to commit more guys to the box, more guys to the run. Then you open it up for the passing.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Expect some pressure coming from the blitz. From the gun, the ground game. And the Buckeyes will move the sticks. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. A first down run on the doorstep. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
And the offense continues to run the football. The second rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes continue to feed this man the ball.
And they did tack on the extra point, by the way, knocked it right down the middle. So here comes the kickoff after the touchdown, and the last thing you need right before the half is to give up a big return. He'll call for the fair catch here. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. They'll crank up this drive with the pass. Fires to the tight end. Oh, he's got a chance. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a first down. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Looking to pass. It's back. Throws toward the end zone. The pass falls incomplete, and that's how we'll finish this half. And that'll do it here in the second quarter. Halftime has arrived, and we head to the studio. Ready to get things going here in the second half as Georgia about to kick it away. The ball bounces through the end zone, and it will be a touchback. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They open this third quarter on top, and they built the lead on the strength of that running game.
And they made a huge statement, too, just proving to the other team that they're more physical, they're winning in the trenches. So here in the second half, David, just keep demoralizing this defense by pounding the football.
Yeah, and I'm not going to let that happen. I riled up my guys at halftime. We're going to put more people in the box, and we got to come out and meet the physical challenge of this offense.
A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. Quick release on the RPO. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. He'll pull it down and run. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely. The Buckeyes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. He wants to throw. Pressure coming. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And finally, the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They've been trying all game long different ways to affect him. Weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy, and that's why the ball falls incomplete.
Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. The Buckeyes in the hurry-up. A little pre-snap eye candy for the defense. Trying to get to it. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this offense did a lot of good things there in the first half. Wouldn't surprise me if they punt this one away after that incompletion on 3rd down. They do have the lead. I think you've got to put some trust in your defense here to not give up any points and get you the ball back.
On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. He's got a first down and maybe a lot more. Not much of a 4th down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing. An easy conversion for this offense.
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's fourth down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
Offense lining up quickly. Leaves it with the running back. Across the 25, he's got room. Touchdown, Ohio State. And they take it in for 6 more points. You're not going to keep the lid on this guy forever. Sooner or later, he's going to get loose.
He is. He's a bad mother. Shut your mouth. I mean, this dude can make plays. That's why you keep feeding it to him, because at some point, he's going to break it loose and make a huge play.
And they split the uprights on the extra point. They're up 35-14. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Fair catch called for and made. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Trailing by 3 touchdowns. If you're going to get back in it, David, the time to start is right now.
Got to start now. Defense giving up points on that last possession. Again, the offense is going to have to score, and Jesse probably score pretty quickly.
And here's the 3rd interception of the night.
Defensive backs have tough jobs. I mean, you think about whether you play nickel, whether you play dime, whatever it is, you put more DBs on the field. It's more speed. It's more guys that can cover, but they also got to cover that ground. But to cover the ground and make the pick, a lot of times you don't see that. Superb effort by that guy.
Defense there to make the stop after a pickup of 2 to the 30. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on 2nd down. Running back searching for a hole. And he's able to shed 1 tackle and pick up pretty good yardage. Here comes 3rd and short from the 24, and this offense does not want to send out the field goal unit. He gets it so close to the 1st down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short.
And that's a nice stop by this defense. Nice job stopping the run, setting up 4th and inches. Listen, this is a no-brainer. If I can't get inches, I don't deserve to win. I'm coming downhill. I'm playing physical. I'm picking my play, whether it's quarterback sneak, fullback dive, whatever it is that we do great, and I'm going to get my inches.
Gets drilled as he throws the big pressure on 4th down, and they'll get it back.
Nice job by the defense. Great pass defense, getting in the lanes, doing a really good job. Understand they were going to throw the football in this 4th down. They played it well. Incomplete pass. Defense turns to offense.
They're going to open this drive with a pass. Rifles it down the middle. And it slips through his fingers. Incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have squeezed it. After the quarterback and receiver failed to hook up, they'll try it again on 2nd down. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Looking to throw, it's back. He's got it. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a 1st down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. He's looking to throw it. Oh, he's ready to take a shot. And he makes the catch inside the 20. Touchdown, Dogs! And once he got away from the knee, they had no shot at catching it. And the extra point is good, but they still trail 35-21. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And the score comes courtesy of the big play, covering 61 yards on the touchdown pass. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. That last drive was promising at times, but stalled out, and they turned it over on downs, Jesse.
I think they got to do a better job here, just being better early in the downs. On 1st down, finding positive plays.
Yeah, and it's frustrating when you move the football and get stopped on the other side of the field and get no points. But they've had some success, and I like the aggressiveness. They just got to cash some of these drives in.
Leaves it with the back. They get him stopped after a gain of 4 out to the 28.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill points, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Ohio State 35, Georgia 21.
Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. Looking to throw, it's Howard. He's going to take off. Finishes the run with the slide. And the Buckeyes will hustle to the line. On fourth down, they'll run it, looking for the first. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down. A lot of urgency for this offense.
Well, the defense didn't blitz. They didn't have everybody in gaps, and the offensive line took advantage at the point of attack, getting some push, opening up a hole, and the offense ripping off a nice run there.
I know exactly what I have to do here. Defensively, we've got to get the stop. So we're playing run. We're selling out to run because we're thinking they're going to run the football, and we got 3 timeouts. Let's use them wisely. Let's use those timeouts, save as much clock as we can so our offense has some time on the clock to do some damage when they get the football back.
Still on his feet at the 45. He got... Welcome, everybody, and we are fired up for another sensational college football matchup. Nobody at home today who can stake their claim in this neutral site showdown. Both teams have been building for this one for a while, and it is here, a top 5 clash between two powers. As we'll see the number 2 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on the 4th-ranked team in the land, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Buckeyes will kick it away to start us off.
Set to advance on the football.
No return coming. He'll call for the fair. Offense getting set for first down. Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon. This offense plenty happy enough with the result of that play, so they just let the official put that flag back in his pocket and decline the penalty. I don't think they got it snapped before the play clock ran out. This defense happy with how that last play turned out, so they'll decline the penalty. Line gets set, first down. Quarterback will audible. Scanning the field, it's back. Unloads to the wideout. He's got it. And an explosive play has him on the move, and he gets it all the way to the 48-yard line.
That is a really good-looking throw. You think about the expectation level now for quarterbacks at Georgia. Matthew Stafford was the #1 pick overall. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships. Imagine the pressure on this guy. But when you see throws like that, he makes you believe that he can step up and lead this team to yet another natty.
They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. Georgia going up tempo.
I'll tell you, when you've got a tight end like this, it makes it a lot easier calling pass plays on first down, even if the defense is in zone coverage. He did a really good job there, working his leverage, finding the soft spot, and making it an easy completion.
Had to get rid of it quickly. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be 3rd down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the 2nd down misfire. Looking to throw it again. Shoots it to the left. It's caught. Touchdown, Georgia! That is the ultimate grab and go for the score. They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point is good, and it's 7-0. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. So the penalty will not be enforced. The defense declines and stands on the result of the play. The offense set for a first down play. Pre-snap motion, quarterback trying to get a read. Wasting no time taking a shot. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game. After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. They'll move the running back to try to force the defense to adjust. He'll take another shot here. And the full dive and grab down the left side. It's almost as if he's racing against himself out there. This speed, dare I say, is Galloway-esque.
Yes, definitely can fly. And it dictates the whole coverage. It dictates the defense to you. You think you want to put that guy on an island with a cornerback? No, I better get a safety over the top to help. He changes the whole structure of a defense with that blazing speed.
Relying on that running game as they threaten to pick up a 4 down to the 13. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Here it is trying to bash it forward. He got a couple. It's down at the 11. They'd love to pick up this 3rd down and get a fresh set with 1st and goal. Wide receiver coming across in motion. Defense loves to show heat and try to confuse the quarterback. The give out of the gun. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
They're trying to run the football. There's just nowhere to go for the ball carrier inside. He tried to bounce it to the outside. That linebacker way too fast. He met him there and forced the TFL.
The Buckeyes will go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Couldn't find his man, and they'll give up the football on down.
And sometimes the best defense is getting a little bit lucky. He was open. He had a chance to make a play. He just drops it through his hand. It was pretty good defense, but you take those breaks when you can.
Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. Back to pass. It's back. Going to throw it over the top of the D. Snags it on the right. And he's brought down after a huge completion.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play. And you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
You look to be backed up, and then suddenly you're not. Big play has them across the 50, and they'll have it 1st and 10. And he's able to find a little bit of running room before they get him down.
Man, the defense, you hold your breath. When this receiver has the football out in space, you have got to make sure you're playing with outstanding pursuit. Nice job there, but as this game goes on, you sure they know where he is at all times.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
Throws to the tight end. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
Yeah, and third and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
They'll run for it on fourth down. The Dogs pick up the first down. From that spot on the field, this is the area that we expert commentators call no man's land. So the call makes sense.
You have to go for it. You're in a situation where you're in field goal range for maybe elite kickers, but dude, go for it. You're not going to have anything to lose. Field position will still be okay. You got to go for it in these situations.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Georgia 7, Ohio State 0.
Second down now as they're ready to go back to work. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. Back to pass, it's back. Fires to the tight end. And just a short, safe pass play, they pick up a few.
I'll say this, man. In college football, you see a lot of bad tackling. You didn't see it right there. That was an awesome job. First off, being there at the point of attack. Once the tight end made the catch, there was no doubt he was going down. Great job form tackle.
Seventh play of the drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. The play action fake. Has no choice but to throw it away, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable third and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters, and I know the pass is coming, so I can have more success.
On fourth down, they'll pass for it. Throws to the wideout. Makes the grab, and it's plenty for the first down. Wrestled to the ground after picking up the first down. Georgia ready to dial it up on another first down. Handoff from the gun. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry.
And when you play defensive end, it's all about getting off the football. You can tell, gets off the football really fast, gets in the backfield, gets the running back before he knows what hit him. What a play by the defensive end.
Lost yardage leaves them looking at 2nd and 14. Grabbed behind the line. It's Lovett. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short.
Well, we see another catch by this guy. This defense is going to need to do a better job of tackling the catch. In coverage, I know they want to slap the ball away, but if you can't do it and force the incompletion, you've got to at least make sure you're able to drag him down to the ground as soon as he catches the ball.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. And he waltzes in for the score. Touchdown, Bulldogs! Well, they started with horrible field position, but ended with perfect field position in the middle of the end zone.
It all comes down to execution, Reese. You've got to have guys going out and doing their jobs. You saw the offensive line up front there. The physical, skilled players made it happen with the ball in their hands, and the quarterback really showed command on that last drive.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point of the game, I feel like offensively, you should go back to what's been working for you in this game. Don't be afraid to dial up plays that you've already had success with running it and throwing it. It's okay to repeat plays down 14 at this point.
And I would also say, Palmer, kind of understanding that my defense is not playing great, so I know offensively I got to put some good possessions together here, make something happen on this side of the football.
That pass is incomplete, and they're probably fortunate that it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. Now facing a 3rd and long. Dropping back, it's Howard. He's going up top. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. He'll try to take it back at the 30. And a big return after the INT sets up the offense for this possession.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing they needed to create takeaways and try to gain as much momentum as they could. Really nice interception on that play. Great job with the eyes by the defender there picking that up.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Dogs! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
And with the extra point, they're up 21-0. That's taking advantage of a golden opportunity set up with great field position, and they struck quickly for the touchdown. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go. He'll call for the fair catch here. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and they better get started or it's going to get away from them, David.
Yeah, and these are the weeks that you really wish that you were playing a video game, and you could just reset the console, start over, Jesse, and make something better happen early.
They just look like they're sleepwalking in this first half, and it's not just one guy. They just haven't been playing collectively as a unit. And if I'm the head coach, I'm considering starting to give some other dudes some chances here.
Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. To the air, it's Howard getting some heat. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this thing has been one-sided, and they hope to at least have something to feel good about going into halftime. 3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it down the left side. The expressway is wide open. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby.
Man, nice job getting the passing game going. This is big, man. Going to the half, and listen, I know you're trailing, but building some momentum. Maybe this second half we can keep airing the football out, cutting into this deficit, and who knows what the heck will happen.
And the point after is good.
Georgia 41, Ohio State 7.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. Fielded in the end zone. It's Lovett. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute, David.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
After the misfire now on second down. The receivers often will run their route based on a side adjustment. To the air. It's Beck. Fires to the wideout. Complete in the middle. He'll get it up to about the 32-yard line before he stopped in Italy. First down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Feeling some heat. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell in.
Looking to pass on second down. He lets it fly. And that pass intercepted. And he's brought down after the pick, but not before putting his offense in business.
And this ball looks like it just got away from the quarterback. I think he made the right decision. He was going to the receiver that seemed open, but just not very accurate on the throw, and that leads to the interception.
You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6. And the Buckeyes are in the hurry up. On second down, they'll take to the air. He tries to take the top off. Oh, he's playing with fire, and he's picked off. Got room on the return. The 30. And what a big play here, and the return takes it back inside the 25.
A lot of quarterbacks have so much confidence that they can fit the ball in tight windows. How about the defensive player right here making an unbelievable interception, forcing the turnover, big play, big momentum swing. And these little touch passes, man, they're just the easiest completions ever for quarterbacks. Palmer, I bet you would have loved being able to just flip it forward. That counts as to your completion percentage, which is good. And then it's all right after the catch, so pretty easy for a QB.
You wouldn't have been the only All-American in this booth, David, if I were allowed to have push passes when I was playing quarterback. I'll tell you that. It is so hard to defend. It's so hard to seal that edge, especially when this guy's full speed ahead coming around the outside.
And after the quarterback and receiver couldn't connect, this offense faces third down. Quarterback checking off. He got a little antsy at the line of scrimmage, and they'll move him back. Mental errors like that just kill drives. We'll see if they can overcome it. Trying to pick up a first down. On third and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. Throws for the tight end. Catch in the middle. It's dealt. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down mark. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense has been money on fourth down here in the first half. They'll try to make it 3 for 3. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He caught it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Georgia. These two have spent plenty of time together. That was almost telepathic, David.
No doubt, and quarterbacks and wide receivers throw all off season to get on the same page. You can see he hits him in stride. That's why he gets the touchdown.
So they got the touchdown, now going to put it in the hands of their defense to finish off this half. Bounces through the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 25. throwing the pick on the last drive. Need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you
got a lot of running room. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. To the air, it's Howard. Fires toward the end zone. And he throws another interception. His third one of the night.
And another mistake from this quarterback. That's back-to-back drives now that have resulted in interceptions. He's got to find a way to find something different, get in a better rhythm, start seeing the field better, Palmer, because he's not in a flow right now.
No, David, it looks like he's forcing the football a little bit, maybe trying to make up for that interception he threw on the last drive. But that last play, there was no way that football should have gone there. He could have gotten off of that, checked it down, or thrown it away. This quarterback, he needs a breather right now. He's got to collect himself.
And that'll bring us to the end of the first half as we head to the studio for halftime. Georgia will kick it deep to start the second half. Fair catch called for and made. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. When you're facing a deficit like this one to start the second half, you really can't afford to waste a single possession.
Fresh start here in the second half. That's the only way you can look at this if you're on offense. Things did not go your way there in the first half. It starts with one play. To get our confidence going, we just got to get something going early here on this drive.
One play, stay aggressive. Now I think I can be even more aggressive on fourth downs because obviously I've built a deficit. My defense has got to make some plays for me too.
They're trying to get to it. A pickup of 5 marks it at the 36-yard line. The Buckeyes want to crank the tempo.
It's so nice to be an offense on second down in short yardage situations. Why? I can take shots if I want to. I can just act like I'm going to run to try to get the first down, take a deep shot down the field. I can run the football. The whole playbook is open to my disposal.
The offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
Moving the running back, trying to get the D to tip its hand. Pocket starts to collapse. And there was nowhere to go for this quarterback, and down he goes.
One of the things I hated as a quarterback was the blitzes from the inside linebackers, because those guys end up in your hip pocket quickly. It's really hard to step into throws when you've got inside linebackers bringing the heat.
And man, oh man, he is